Hi, this is Josh of Leadworks, and today we're going to learn how to set up camera controls and navigate a scene. Now I have this template program set up already, and if you're not sure what any of this does, then I recommend you take a look at our earlier tutorials, like the rendering lights tutorial. And we can see right now a light is being created, a directional light, but there's nothing to if we run this, there won't be anything visible. I also used the camera CLS color, clear screen color, command to make a blue background because I think that makes it a little bit easier to see everything. So let's load a mesh so that we can have something to look at. And I'm going to write load mesh scene.obj. Now we need to have this file here in the same directory as our source code, and I have that set up already. There it is. That's our object file, and we also need to have the material file, and that's just something weird that object files use. This stores the texture names, and if you don't have this file, then the engine won't know what textures to load. You can see here there's a couple of the texture names that the engine will read. Okay, and these are the textures that we're going to use. There's two diffuse textures and then two normal maps. And let's also reposition the camera so we can see things a little bit easier. Okay, so we'll run this. I made a mistake here. That's what happens if you create a buffer that isn't the same size as the graphics buffer. It all gets messed up. So we'll do that again. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we have a scene and we can see where things are, and we want to add camera controls. So first we need to declare a couple of variables before the main loop. We'll call those cam rotation, and this is going to be a vec3 object. And unlike C+, we actually need to create one here, because when you first declare a vec3 it doesn't exist. And then we'll have mx, which is a float, and my, which is another float. Okay, and right before the main loop we want to move the mouse to the center of the window. So graphics width and height are the client area that the window has, and when we divide it by 2 that makes it the center. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to get the difference between every frame. We want to get the difference between the current mouse position and where it should be, the center. So we're going to do that by saying mx equals mouse x, which is the current mouse position, minus where we put it, which is graphics width divided by 2. And we'll do the same for the vertical component. And now we'll move the mouse back to the center, and I'll just do that by copying this. Okay, that's one part of it. Now we have our values, and we want to use those to do something useful. So we're going to say cam rotation dot x equals cam rotation dot x plus my. And the reason we're mixing m and y here is because the y movement is vertical, right? And we want that to be the up and down rotation of the camera. And that's going to be the rotation around the x-axis. And now that we have our new rotation, we're going to say rotate entity cam rotation. So if we run this, we should be able to look around with the camera. And we can. Now when I move the mouse right, it's turning left, and when I move it left, it's turning right. When I move it up, it's turning up, and when I move the mouse down, it's turning down. But the left and right aren't correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that plus to a minus. And now it all works as we expect.